Hi everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I'm just gonna come out and say that I've been having a really hard time, I guess you could say, with some symptom flare-ups. I don't really know where to start, but I really think this is something that I really should put out there. I don't know, I guess you could say it's really kind of devastating sometimes to feel like you're never really going to overcome something. Sometimes it just takes so much strength that, I guess I just, some days I just don't have it. I have decided that I need to quit drinking. It's not that I necessarily drink every single day or anything like that. It's just that when I do, and I have access to, alcoholic beverages and stuff, that I sometimes just don't know when to stop. And then I end up pretty much going through a night of being blacked out, where I don't know, I don't remember anything. And I know this is a very common problem, especially among anybody who feels like they need to self-medicate. The thing is, for me, is that in my past I know that I was using it as self-medication, as a way to just, escape, I guess, and numb myself out. And I don't know, I've never considered myself, and never really been told that I've been a rude person or anything like that, but I guess my most recent, I guess you could call it a relapse, I guess I hurt some people's feelings. So it's I had so many of my thoughts organized earlier, and now I don't. This is just a really terrible disorder, and it takes a lot of strength, I guess, and I just really want to get back to feeling how I was feeling. I mean, I feel good physically, but my head's all in a fog again, and I know that if I'm, to go talk to my doctor in this frame of mind, I know I'm just going to be hopped up on drugs. I'm just going to get more pills given to me, I know that. And I don't want that. Not to say that, you know, there are people that need medication, and I feel that, you know, the small amount of medication I'm on does help. It's really sad. And I have a very hard time forgiving myself if I upset anybody. I'm at the point right now where I have been forgiven. You know, these people have moved on, and I can't. I really think it is going to be a day-by-day thing, and I'm pretty sure, you know, things always do get better, but some days it's just really hard to be positive. And I'm fighting a lot of urges that you know, usually make me feel better. But yeah, today has been a really big roller coaster of emotions for me. Very, very high up, very low down, in between, all emotions. You know, going from being very grateful and happy to feeling absolutely heartbroken and hating myself, and then, you know, counteracting that and saying, oh, I'm being ridiculous. You know, it's just this, it's just that. But I had put out that what borderline personality disorder feels like, that video. And I am eventually going to put out one that, you know, what it feels like to recover. But I'd be lying if I was to put that out now, because I don't know. I'm not there yet. I can be honest and say that. And it worries me sometimes that some of my feelings and thoughts kind of leak through into my other, you know, relaxation videos. I know when you find something that's like a niche that you take pride in, it's always something that I'm scared of screwing up. So, sorry, there's frat boys. Anyways, now my neighbors have been so annoying lately. Again. Anyways, I don't really have any organized thoughts. I'm very grateful for being able to talk to some people, Skype and stuff like that. You know, to get a different kind of perspective on, you know, maybe what their thoughts are about my situation and stuff. So that has really helped. But I mean, it really sucks because sometimes no matter how many people you talk to, no matter, you know, how many self-help books you'll read, or doctors you'll talk to, family you'll visit with and talk to, no matter how open and honest you are, I feel like I only feel better for that little span of time, and then I'm right back into not knowing what to do with myself. You know, what's the next step? I had done a CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, a CBT exercise in my last stint of therapy. And it made me think of it today because we had to do an exercise where we came up with our very first childhood memory. I don't really want to go over what mine was. It wasn't good. But anyways, so you have to come up with this memory, like the first thing you can think of. And then from that, how did that go? It was kind of like drawing a chart. So from that you go to what your automatic thoughts would have been, in that situation. And what was the other one? I don't know. But you do like this chart and there's steps. Sorry. I think I'm getting sick. There's steps that you take along the way. And you go over, I think at the end one of the last steps is you find out all your behaviors because of a certain pattern of thinking, and it traces all the way back to this first memory, which is pretty neat, actually. And it was to try and come up with a new core belief about yourself. And my core belief that I ended up coming up with at the end of this exercise, and I bawled when I kind of figured it out, and it made a lot of sense, is that I'm the one to blame. So what we had to do for this was we had to come up with a new core belief, something you really wanted to, almost the opposite of that. And so I came up with, me and the group I was in came up with, I can make mistakes. And that's really hard for me because I'm very much a perfectionist. Very, very, very hard on myself. And so what we had to do was for 21 days for, at least, a good amount of time, at least 10 minutes or, something significant in the day, where you had to perform something to almost rewire your brain for this new core belief. And I kind of thought, wow, that's going to be fun. I'm allowed to do, to screw up for 21 days. So I started writing out a list, and my boyfriend's very excited about it for some reason. This is cool, we can do this, because he knows, I make a tiny little mistake and I just lose it. So something it might not even be a mistake, but it's not up to my standards. So I made a list. Things I would consider are, to be a mistake. I came up with things like burn supper. I didn't want to waste food, so all I did was, I burned some toast, and I actually had a really hard time with that. But it was kind of fun at the same time. I spilled coffee grounds all over my kitchen floor and left it there all day. That was very hard. I went out to the grocery store without makeup on. That was hard for me. I'm starting to become more just like, whatever, I don't care. But, this was, it was last year. But, the thing about that is that that was our very last thing that they gave us as an exercise in therapy. And then I was done. So I didn't follow through with it. And it almost makes me, want to go back and do it again. Because, yeah, I was rude to someone. I drank too much. I became very overly emotional. I said things that I didn't mean. I owned up to it. I apologized. I made a decision. But it still doesn't feel like I can forgive myself. So having this CBT challenge that I had was given to me by a therapist. So it was almost as if I was given permission to do the exercise. But I gave up on it. And I almost want to do it again. And anybody, a lot of people just say, well, just do it. It's very hard for me though, because it's hard. A couple days ago, I thought about quitting my ASMR channel. I wanted to erase my personal Facebook. I came very close to becoming very comfortable with the idea of ending my life on Saturday. And I don't ever want to feel that way again, because I want to live. I want to be here. I want to help people. I want to get married and have children, and I really hope I put a lot of pressure on my therapies. I have a DBT therapy coming up soon, which is the dialectical behavior therapy. So I'm really hoping that the skills I learned there that I will remember to use them. And I'm really hoping that maybe I can take you guys along the way, because I might end up, I think doing like a DBT blog would be, or a vlog I should say, would be beneficial. And I actually found an interesting article today. It's called, what is it called? How to know if you're secretly an introvert or something. And it resonated with me big time. It was actually really neat. And one of the things that really caught my eye on that is, not only I find small talk cumbersome, just very dull and unnecessary. Talking about the weather, talking about school, work. I've always been like that. I find it very blah and shallow, or hollow, I guess you could say, without substance. Anyways, but another one was that a lot of people find you very intense. And I may not come off as intense right now, but I definitely am. And you know what? I'm okay with that. If I can come to terms and say that I know alcohol isn't good for me. I know I always have negative consequences because of it. And I feel better when I'm not drinking it. So why not just continue with that? I don't know if I'm going in circles here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be real. Yeah. Okay, well, it's 21 minutes here. I want to put a hopeful message out there. I just want to say that I know a lot of you know what this feels like. You know what it's like to live in this hell inside your head sometimes. But there's always better days, and that's really something to focus on. Focus on, how I feel on my good days. How I feel when I see my family around me happy, without chaos. It's nice. How I feel after doing yoga. It's great. Just really gotta focus on the good things. But it's okay to feel like this.